This is confusion versus illusion. So when we embrace the idea that everything that we refer to as reality, so we're going down the reality hole right now, everything that we refer to as reality is possibly just an illusion. When we identify that everything that we think is reality could be just an illusion, there is no more confusion. Think about that for a second. If anything was possible, then you would no longer be confused, right? So confusion only exists in this place where you're trying to figure things out. So when we are closed-minded to that idea that everything could be an illusion, this is why I love the concept, theory, that everything is just a simulation. If you've ever wanted to learn and really dive deep into that concept, go listen to some old podcast interviews with, Donald Hoffman and Riz, Case Against Reality and the Simulation Hypothesis. Go listen to those things and hear it from the source. But are you open to that, right? There's no confusion when you're open to it. So confusion as a result of missing the illusion. So you were confused as a result of missing the idea that everything could be an illusion. I love sitting in the space of could be. That's why I always say, right? I always try to step into that gap in between the stimulus and my response and try to catch myself with my knee-jerk reaction. That's my interface response system. And just say, maybe. And that comes from a place of me identifying that I really don't know everything. I just know what I think I know, but thinking, God, that's confusing. So confusion as a result of missing the illusion, trying to make sense of the insensible. That's when you're trying to make sense of this world, which is what your brain is structured to do, that's a lifelong sentence of confusion because it's insensible. It doesn't make any sense. We don't understand what's really, really going on. So it's a lifelong sentence of confusion mixed with a bunch of storytelling because we have to explain what we think that we know, and then convince people that things are as they seem. So if you look at things like politics and religion and opinions and all that stuff, that's a result. And if you've bought into it emotionally, which is fine because we all have coping mechanisms, right? We're all trying to take our best, guess at what's going on here. But if you do that, you're going to run into some confusion because it really doesn't make sense. I like to understand, like, I don't know, 3 most powerful words I've ever, learned is to say, I don't know. It's pretty cool. That's what I know. I love to know that I don't know. So some call this analysis paralysis when we just work so hard at trying to analyze things that we actually get paralyzed. So what's the value of embracing the potential illusion and minimizing confusion? That's one of the values, right? Confusion can be a motivator to push us to problem solve, but this typically manifests as a distraction. So confusion, which is eliminated when you observe that everything could be an illusion, right? You release from needing to know. Confusion is actually something that can manifest as distraction. So if you're somebody that gets off task all the time and you get distracted, it's because your sense-making machine is trying to figure everything out and you get distracted by the shiny objects and stuff. So problem solving in itself requires the use of man-made formulas, science, mathematics, and what you've been programmed to know. See, that's the problem, is our sense-making machine, when we're perceiving things, is using things that we've been taught to use to figure things out. But we've been taught by who? By other people that took their best guess at trying to figure stuff out. I'd like to think that there's way more to life than this, right? And the most advanced, the big advancements are not just in technology. I think they're in consciousness. And I think the ultimate state of consciousness is the acceptance and acknowledgement that this might all just be an illusion. There's no bigger state of consciousness. And if that's far out for you, I understand, but just entertain it and just watch how relaxing it is to recognize it. I don't need to know. Not a cop out. That's a cop in. So when we're open to all possibilities and potentials, like the idea that what we see is just what we see, not necessarily what is. We can tap into a proactive and creative. See, that's what's the whole concept of being creative and proactive in creating your reality is it starts from a blank slate, right? You can't be creative on a slate that's already got creations on it from what you've been taught. So you tap into a proactive, creative, and solution focused part of our brain that seeks resolution forward progress. You see, when you're trying to figure things out and getting confused in life, which is impossible not do, but I just want to bring this to your awareness that you're trying to do this. Um, you get distracted, and when you're distracted, you're off forward progress towards what it is that you really truly desire. So if you set this big goal, this North Star, and you're going after it, and you just never seem to get there, it's because you're getting distracted by other things that you're buying into and noticing rather than a problem focused approach, right? Moving forward, rather than a problem focused approach that sees only adversity. So are you looking around and seeing challenges and adversity? Or are you laser focused on what you want and the things that you need to do to leverage it, and that's it? See, you can see the inherent challenge. So, how would I put this into play when I'm on my way somewhere? It's not that I don't see the things that are looking to distract me, but I just look at them as things. I don't look at them as things that affect me. I do notice them, but I don't look at them and emotionally buy into them as things. It's just like my thoughts in my head. Like right now, as I'm speaking to you, my brain is having tons and tons of thoughts. But that's what my brain does. And that's what the universe does. It's got all kinds of things that we see. So we can tap into that proactive place that seeks resolution rather than problem focus. So, in other words, bypass our analytical, egoic mind and release from the need to know everything. I give you permission today to release from the need to know everything. That right there could be a big win from you, so that you can focus on creating what it is that you want rather than spending distractible time solving unsolvable problems, right? It's unsolvable problems. This is not giving up. This is giving in to what is, right? And what is confusing. So we try so hard. So are you ready to move forward today and design the illusion of living your dream life, right? With the advent of metaverse and all of these dreamlike worlds that our kids are playing in, I say that that's what true reality is. We can create it, we can design it. I know it because I can show something to two people and they'll see something different. So human beings have the ability to design their own illusion. So are you ready for that? Or do you prefer to follow the herd and remain confused in contemplation? So at the end of the day, remember something. Whether you choose this way or that way, they're both illusions, meaning potentially not real, but you get to make the choice. So choose your illusion. That's the idea for the day. So make sense? Love and appreciate you all. I'm just so curious to know to what degree you guys understand this stuff. So I love the feedback. And remember, these conversations for me, I love to boil down some things that we think of, but we kind of like just cover up, we push under the rug. I like to pull those things out and unpack them. And by doing that, I'm exercising that muscle, the brain, right? And I'm also constantly reminding myself with practice. That's why I do this with consistency. Is I'm putting myself in a place where I'm just constantly reminding myself of this automatic system that's constantly happening in my brain and my sense making machine, and I'm just able to, with consistency, and I hope you guys get this, I'm able to differentiate, myself from my thoughts and all of these things going on. And it's just such a wonderful way to just go about this day and be unfuckwithable. So love and appreciate you all. Have an amazing day. As a reminder, I'll be doing a live show tomorrow, and then we're in moving mode. So I'll pop up sometime next week, probably at a new location, which we don't know where that's going to be yet. So have an amazing day.